Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. Nice Monday morning, isn't it? Hope you're in a great mood, like me. Yesterday I posted on the Wine Library TV bulletin boards, the forum up here in the top left, right corner, that I would not be doing a show today. Wasn't feeling that great, and more importantly, wasn't feeling that good about what my Jets did. As a matter of fact, at this point, unless we get a lot of help, we'll be driving this season away out of the playoffs. So I'm pretty sad about that, but it's been a great year nonetheless. I knew that game was going to be tough. I begged you all to put your thinking caps on and your rooting caps on and help the Jets win. Clearly, not all of you jumped on board, and I'm going to blame you for this debacle yesterday. A couple more announcements, a little house cleaning. Tomorrow, we were supposed to do the Gary Vaynerchuk 6-pack. You're going to taste along. I really apologize. I hope I didn't screw anybody up and you have a party or a group of people getting together. What's happening is I'm taping today's and tomorrow's episode right now, and I'm flying to Atlanta in about an hour or two, and I'm going to be doing a morning talk show in Atlanta. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see how that goes. But more importantly, I'm going to come back Wednesday, probably Thursday is what I'm going to mark now for the 6-pack taste along. And remember, you could always watch it at your convenience. I'm sure a lot of you were going to do it that Saturday anyway. So that's that. And let's do some wine, because that's what we do on Wine Library TV. We taste some goddamn wine. Today we're going to do Grenache. I'm going to tell you something that I'm sure you do not know. Grenache is the most planted grape varietal in the world. Throw up the W. In the entire world, Grenache is the most planted grape. Little fun fact for you guys about that. I absolutely am positive most people would not have guessed that. There's an enormous amount of Grenache being grown in Spain. Just enormous. We don't have any Spanish Grenache today. We're going a little bit of a different angle. Going a little New World on the three Grenache reds. We also have a Grenache white from the Old World, from France. So in France, in the southwest of France, in the Rhone region, you get a lot of going on with the Grenache grape. An enormous amount in Spain, quite a bit in Australia, some in California, and so I'm pretty excited about this grape varietal. I've always liked Grenache. I think they make some wonderful, profound wines, and you get some really old and gnarly vines out there. There's a lot of 40 to 60, 80, 100-year-old Grenache vines planted throughout the world, and they just produce some very intriguing, interesting wines. So I'm excited to try these, and let's see what the heck is going on. We're going to start with a Domaine Mellin Via Vines 2003 Grenache Blanc. This is brought to us by the world-famous Bruno Lafon, winemaker from Burgundy. This is 90 Points Wine Spectator, $12 US. Again, from the southwest of France. Really great producer, given the pedigree of the winemaker. Bruno Lafon, is one of the greats in the world. Grenache Blanc, you don't see this as much as the red Grenaches, but they're very interesting and intriguing wines. It's from old vines, via vines, meaning old vines, and I'm excited to try this. 100% Grenache Blanc. Let's give you a little color. It's got a, kind of like a lemony, kind of light yellow, pale Sauvignon Blanc essence kind of color, not too golden or dark like a Chardonnay. It's got a little bit of that, petrol kind of nose, gasoline. Little hints of lemon zest, so like the cappuccino, throw that little lemon peel in there with a little bit of Auto Body Shop, bringing back some high school memories. My freshman year in high school, they were renovating and they put our entire homeroom. Being in the bottom of the alphabet is not always the best thing. They put us in the metal shop room. It was quite an experience. This is not for everybody. There's a lot of acidity in this, and there's a lot going on in the mouth. A very viscous, big wine, but not a lot of fruit. Very driven by obvious petrol flavors, high acidity, little zesty lemon again. All the similar flavors we smelled on the nose. Getting a little limestone. It's got high alcohol coming through. What is the alcohol in this? Let's see. Can't find it. Aren't you supposed to put it on there somewhere? The alcohol is coming through very, very heavy for me. 14.5, and pretty obvious too for a wine of this stature. 14.5 is high for a white like this because it's a lighter style kind of wine. I mean, Grenache can get pretty big, but this is disjointed, all over the place, and very hot. I'm still feeling the heat on the palate, and that turns off a lot of everyday drinkers. This is more of a food wine, and I would pair this tremendously with a lot of different fish, where the acidity and the petrol can really integrate. So I'm going to give this wine an 87-point score. It's a solid bottle of wine. It's made right, but because of the flavor profile not being so delicious and appealing, and knowing that many people won't love it, it's a very, very concerning wine for me that way. I personally like this style. I enjoy the high acidity, but it's also not perfectly done for me. 87 points, $12, worth seeking out just for experience reasons only. Let's move on. Bonnie Dune, the Clos de Gelroy, 2004. Bonnie Dune, I'm sure a lot of you already know the Bonnie Dune story. Randall Graham, one of the wildest, craziest hippies in all of California. He is definitely a superstar, real cool guy. We got to get him on the show. He is a maniac, and maybe we can turn him into a vaniac. So let's see what this is going on. This is their Grenache, 87 points. Tanzer, $11. Seems like a pretty good value on paper. Tanzer, Tough Critic, 87 points, $11. Very, very fair for Grenache. New World, California. Let's give it a little bit of world. Really, really nice pinkish round edges, followed by a nice ruby color in the middle. Very vibrant nose, coming through with a little bit of strawberry. Getting a little bit of hints of violets and lilacs, very floral pudding, and a little bit of cherry, just a tad, but mainly strawberry and lilacs on the nose. Do you know what rhubarb is? If you do, it's this reminds me a little bit of rhubarb pie. It's quite good. It's very dry, and it's a little acidic, but not too much. It's rounded very nicely, and the mid palate to the finish really comes on strong. It's actually not a bad wine at all. It's got a little bit of pepper. I'm even tasting a little hint of balsamic vinegar and oil, like on a salad, just those flavors coming through a little bit. Again, a lot going on for an $11 bottle of wine. Very solid. I like this wine. It's nice. It's rounded. I'm going to give it 88 points. I like it. It's a little bit lighter than maybe what I would hope. It's got a little bit of greenish, austere flavors on the finish. Just a tad. I'm starting to taste them a little bit. Coming through at the finish. They kind of don't allow this to become a profound 90-point wine, but for 88 points and $11, it's definitely a nice entry-level Grenache, and it's not too bad at all. Not bad. Let's move on. Kilikanoon Prodigal Grenache 2003. 92 points Robert Parker. 23 US dollars. Made from 40 to 60-year-old old vines. Winemaker is Kevin Mitchell, and not Kevin Mitchell, former outfielder for the New York Mets and the San Francisco Giants, most famously known for that crazy catch he made with his bare hand in the outfield. You saw it. It was pretty insane. And if you haven't, go and find that on the internet if they've got that clip. Anyway, Kevin Mitchell, the winemaker, is really unbelievable. What he's doing at Kilikanoon is world class. I'm stunned and shocked by the quality of the 3,000 different labels this winery is pumping out. This is the Prodigal Grenache again, 92 points Parker, very high, $23, 40 to 60-year-old vines, a little bit darker, clearly darker than the Bonnie Dune, and clearly a totally different nose profile. I mean, shoot me in the face with a rubber band if I ever get this wrong. This is clearly Australia, so obvious, very vibrant, very lively, dark chocolate, strawberry pie, and even a little hint of I'm getting a little bit of like a cassis jam, just really, really rich, really thick. And a lot of chocolate. 15% alcohol, big bomb. It reminds me of going into a Starbucks. I'm getting so much coffee, cappuccino, latte, and with that little hint of raspberry syrup that you can put in, that it's almost obnoxiously, ridiculously obvious. I mean, this is exactly what this tastes like. Basically, latte at Starbucks with, or maybe if you've ever been to Italy and you see the different raspberry and strawberry and vanilla, all the syrups they've lined up, and instead of sugar, sometimes people will put those in. This tastes exactly like a mocha or a latte with that raspberry shot, as they would say. And for me, it doesn't have the structure or complexity on the mid-palate and finish, and it's very over-oaked. Very over-oaked. There's an enormous amount of oak. If you're not a fan of oak, you need to stay away from this like it's the Black Plague. I mean, this is a very controversial wine. This is the clear, line in the sand between Old World and New World. This is only for New World drinkers who like the jam, who like the big, rich, Turley Zinfandels, things of that nature. For them, this is a 92-point wine. For the others, it's a 79-point wine. For the people in the middle that kind of go both ways, which is me. Did I just say I went both ways? Let's go 89 points on this wine. I'm going to go 89 points on this. It's just too oaky for me. Let's move on. Keisler, the Fave, 2005, planted with 45-year-old old vines from Barossa, 2005 vintage. Great producer, 89 points Parker, 36 US dollars. Let's give this a whirl. Pretty low score from the master from Maryland, as I like to call him, for a New World Fruit Bomb Barossa Shiraz at this, Grenache at this price point. So it was very intriguing. It's really why I wanted to taste this, considering this is really up Parker's alley. He loves this winery. Pretty low score, so let's see what's going on here. Again, sensationally fantastic Four, great color. Had to throw Fantastic Four in. It was the only comic I read when I was a kid. Much tighter nose. These wines have been open for about 2.5 hours, but great dark color. Getting a little of a dusty aspect on the nose. Getting really obvious cherry and strawberry as well. Strawberry is just like the classic Grenache profile. Little dark licorice coming through. Very obvious, actually. Really the black licorice. I'm not talking about generic bullcrap Twizzlers out there. And I hope the Twizzlers people don't email me. I'm sorry. But I'm talking about that real licorice that you get in Europe sometimes. That really dark black licorice. This, on the other hand, to me, does New World right. It's got the structure and complexity. I'm getting some black pepper on the mid-palate. Again, the licorice theme is going through in the entire wine. But it's very round. It's not over-oaked. It's not too jammy and fruity, so it tastes like high C with some alcohol in it. It's just made just right for me, actually. I really like the polish. It is obnoxiously smooth, very rich, tons of complexity. My only problem with this wine is it's $36. I just wish it was a little bit less. I mean, because it would be a great example of how Grenache is done perfectly. And I know that's a little bit of a price point that a lot of people won't jump into. However, I'm adoring this wine. The subtle aspects of cocoa, little hints of vanilla, clear cut, long finish. I'm still tasting the strawberries that are covered with milk chocolate. I'm enjoying this wine quite a bit. I'm going to go 92 points on this. I completely do not see how RP has these reversed. And if you're ever really wondering what are the subtle differences between mine and Bob Parker's palates are, these would be two great wines to taste side by side. Kind of see where you're on the fence because they're very different. I'm going 92.89. He's going 92.89. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool because obviously, as a disclaimer, I think Robert Parker is the greatest wine critic in the world. Question of the day. I am so curious, a little bit nosy, you know. What are you drinking for New Year's? I'd love to know what you're drinking for New Year's. I assume it's something sparkly and bubbly and exciting, but maybe it's not. Let me know. Put it in there. Lurkers, great job. I think we approved 30, 40 comments over the weekend. A lot of people came out. Make sure that wasn't your only comment. Get in today as well. I'm Gary Vaynerchuk. You, with a little itsy bitsy teeny weeny spider. Me, we're changing the wine world.